Let me.
Stokley.
Yes, sir.
How you doing? What you
I'm
got
good.
going on there with the purple lights behind you? That's very.
There you go. There you go. I guess I'm in my Prince spirit.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding.
Creative. Yes.
Well,
Yes.
you're coming to Emerald Queen Casino, the Emerald Queen Casino Event Center in Tacoma on Saturday, the 11th.
Yes.
And just for a quick little backgrounder on you, just to give you the backstory, you're from St. Paul, Minnesota, St. Paul,
Yes.
Minneapolis area, right?
Yes.
And you founded a pretty influential R&B band called Mint Condition. And man, those were beautiful records. They're like so polished. There's a beautiful sheen on all of those songs, right?
Wow. I like the way. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We really had a fun time just creating with my brothers, and just amazing moments. And that I call it the Mint University because I learned so much.
I bet. Well, you were
a
a kid when you started that.
Absolutely. We all, three of us, me co-founded it with two other guys, but we all, me, Carrie, Larry, Odell, Jeff, and Rick, just got in there and just put it together, man. So we're enjoying the legacy that it is right now.
Yeah, right. Because were you in high school?
Out of high school.
I was out of
high school. Right after that, we went in search of a deal in Los Angeles and was, rolling around there for a minute. We went there. Everybody was like, why are you guys here? Everything's happening in Minneapolis. At the time, the whole explosion was going on. It's like, why are you guys here? We were like, LA?
Yeah, right. So, stuff happens here,
Yeah. So, we got smacked in the face with that. But it was really interesting because we ended up actually on signing with Jam and Lewis's label, which was on A&M Records, which when we were out there, we knocked on A&M's doors. They were like, shut. Close the doors. Yeah.
But Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis came through for you.
They came, and we didn't know that all this would happen, and we couldn't write it. So
that's amazing. I mean, just to be involved with something where the dream actually comes true is so rare.
Absolutely. And it's always on, the universe's time or God's time, as they say,
Yeah.
And you just never know. You're like, oh, we didn't, such and such. And next thing you know, a year later or so, there you go. So be careful what you ask for, kids.
That's right.
Just might get it.
Listen, the thing about you that's kind of unique is that you have been a drummer and a lead singer, I guess, really, right? Yes. Or at least a singer.
I've been doing drums and percussion more a bit longer than anything. I started out doing that when I was very young, and that's where the spark started. Many different groups I was in. I was always the youngest in whatever group that I was in, and that fascination started from there. And then just started picking up different instruments. Whatever group I was in, they would usually rehearse in my parents' basement. So all the instruments were left down there. Like, oh, what was he playing earlier? I'll pick up the bass, pick up the guitar, and
Oh, wow.
Just to kind of explore. It's like, wow, yeah.
Well, playing the drums and singing at the same time is not the easiest thing, I don't think, right? I mean,
well, it's funny because it's one of those things where whatever skill set you develop, you're doing both at the same time, and it's fun. You don't realize how much work it is.
Right.
You brick by brick, day by day, you're building it, and next thing you know, you're doing both. So I don't really think about it. You know what I mean? It's just like another limb. Even though you have 5 limbs, you got left hand, right foot, and you're speaking and singing is another limb kind of because you're speaking. You're singing melody, and there's also rhythm to it. So.
Yeah,
you learn to kind of flow with it.
Okay, I mean, there's a few people who are kind of iconic for doing that as lead vocalists, like Phil Collins and Sheila E. and Don Henley and Karen Carpenter, although she wasn't exactly banging out big crazy drum riffs with that band.
But she was good. I mean, if you hear that, you're seeing some clips of it. Carpenter's one of my favorite groups, and so many drummer singers that have done it. You've mentioned a lot,
Yeah.
Maurice White from Earth, Wind and Fire.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, that's a workout on those drums with that band, I would think.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
My goodness. Yeah.
I know you've worked with a lot of artists through the years, from Janet Jackson to New Edition to Color Me Bad to Luther Vandross, but I think people would love to hear about your connection with Prince. I mean, you referred to the purple and stuff, and being from the Minneapolis, St. Paul area, it was probably back in the day, hard not to cross paths with him at some point, but you actually worked with him, right?
For sure. And this was just happened today. I didn't plan this, by the way.
This wasn't like a subliminal, hey, I worked with Chris,
Again, I couldn't make this up. Yeah. So I mean, before even meeting him, just seeing him at the movies or something, I would see this guy with a little afro when, his soft, single came out. I remember being on the front porch playing tag or something with my friends, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I said, going and seeing him at different parks, and there was a summer festival they used to have here, and we would go see him, and I was like, man, they would drive up in this little Volkswagen bus, in the back, him and Andre Simone and everybody else, Des Dickerson and the whole band, and we'd just be fascinated. So we didn't formally meet until like 1999, where Mint Condition we played at Paisley Park. He used to have this night called Love for One Another, and he would bring his favorite artists in to play.
Wow!
And so we were there that night, and he was on side stage, just cheering us on. And ever since, it's been a brotherhood, and he's always shown Mint and myself just such generosity and just a real. I mean, I'm sure you heard so many stories of many different sides, and it was just a joy and a gem to talk to. And that's the thing that I miss most about him, just going out 12 midnight or after later and saying, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Come on, just come on out there and just kind of rap about music or life or whatever it is that I'm doing. And it's also where I look, it's kind of a fire that's lit in me right now, because this is something that we talked about. It's like I want you to people know you with the group. Now you have to, say something. This industry moves so rapidly, so you have to create something new, reinvent yourself.
Right.
And I see you going this route. You need to, voice this out to the world. So here we are. I'm here talking with you, and so that some of that same spirit is in me, as well as many other artists as well.
Yeah, sure. Well, that's great. And then, by the way, I've watched a lot of videos of you performing live, and you have some moves, not just your slippery dance moves and stuff. But I was watching one video where you and your backup singers are like running around on stage.
Right? We like to have fun, man.
That's a workout.
Yeah, it is kind of some cardio, but we just like to have fun with it. Engage stay engaged ourselves as well as with the crowd, and it's a conversation, because it's like we call it a higher vibration. Once we're all sitting there, it's like, man, you're not even thinking about what happened outside of those four walls, what happened before. It's just making your day a little brighter, just making things a little bit easier to get through, because there's so much stuff happening. So I call myself a sonic healer, and that's what we do. We just go in there, and that's what we are. If you really get into the nooks and crannies of your body, it's like we're actually getting in there and moving around molecular structure just a little bit. No, that's just making you feel a little bit better. Yeah.
It's actually good for you to go see a Stokley show.
It's actually good. It's therapeutic. You know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, the doctor will be in on Saturday night at the Emerald Queen Casino Event Center. Looking forward to it. Stokley, it's great to meet you. Have a great show in Tacoma.
Pleasure to meet you. Thank you.
Take care.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wonderful.
That was great. Good job.
Thanks
Have a great
much.
show. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.